Wanna bite my shit, bite my shit, bite my shit. But those wanna bite my shit, bite my shit, bite my shit.
with lasers.
Hello and welcome to Amethyst Racing. We're here today at the Hungarian for the Tier 2 drivers. We got 16 drivers for qualifying, 17 for the race, as we're about to get underway with the qualifying session. And out on track first is going to be...
less than 30.
No, whoever's spamming that can jog on. It's going to be Monk with Bean right in front of him. The Williams pair are right behind one another. But it is going to be Monk now who's going to take the lead of this Hungarian Ring qualifying session. Monk, the only driver on track with a good place penalty to serve today, with a free place. And Talbot is serving his quali ban for amassing 4 penalty points already. Notably, I believe that Gerling is still currently the Drivers' Championship leader with the Tier 2 champion spot vacant with Skowski moving up to Tier 1. So it is all to play for as Monk is about to get us started. Hangs it out wide, round the final corner, right on the line, and he drives to start his lap here today. And let's ride on board with Alfred Monk. As he swings it through the first corner, grazes the...
MCLT1. First of the season. Congrats, Beth.
Nah, whoever's doing this needs to fuck off. As Monk now taking turn 6, gets a little bit fishtaily and Monk loses it. Junkie Monkey once again has spun through the exit of turn 6. So it will be Bean then who will be setting the first flying lap of this race. Monk having a skill diff and eating too much curb on exit, bottoming out and going straight around. Almost goes into the wall. But here we have Bean. I believe he's currently second, maybe third in the driver's standings. Looking to see if he can put it on to provisional pole. Bean rounding the final corner. And Bean does go fastest as a Ferrari just behind though. Ulo goes P2. Ule does... Well, have they matched times? Bruh. Ule and Bean have matched times. Puff ran only P3. Swan going 4th fastest. As it's now going to be a Red Bull. I believe that may be Rosu. Rosu goes 4th fastest ahead of Swan. Swan a little bit off the pace. Now it's going to be Jehovah's all returning to the fray. Goes faster than Rosu. As Monk, we're going to ignore that day. Alex Day also on track. Goes 6th fastest now with Khan going P3. Beanie Ule matching times though. As next up it is going to be Hardizers. There's only one HAR now with Harris no longer racing. Hardizers goes P5 with Hugendorn putting it P3 in that Red Bull. Fastest second sector for Hugendorn. Kizul only able to manage a P8. And next, it is going to be, I think it is Vandenberg. No, it's going to be Gerling. Gerling currently a Drivers' Championship leader, rounding the final corner now. We're wanting to get a good exit here. And Gerling only manages P9. Next, it's going to be Mans Vandenberg, rounding turn 6 now. Has a green 1. Where will he compare to Bean through the second sector? Hugendorn, though, has the fastest second sector, but still all to play for. No, whoever it is can fuck off. Whoever it is needs to fuck off. And Vandenberg goes round. And, oh boy, how has he not ripped his rear wheel off? Vandenberg losing it on the exit of the S section. Almost taking off his rear wheel. So Vandenberg will not be setting a first flying lap. As I think we see Monk, P12 at the moment, back out on track. As I think that is Much, who is actually on a lap. Currently, P16 for Much has moved up from a reserve for Red Bull. Is now full-time seat in Alfa Romeo. We're looking to prove them wrong in Red Bull and out-qualify his old teammates. The only Alfa Romeo driving today, March, goes P11 on his first lap. Just behind Alex Day. Also out on lap, I believe, is going to be Byland. Or is that, he's just about to start. But it's going to be Byland now, coming around, turn 3. Hooks it up nicely on the apex. Where is Byland going to compare to Bean? He's a 1.6, he's 1.5 tenths off. We're looking to find some time through this tricky sector 2. As he weaves it through, and then it's on through the S section now. And Byland invalidates. Unable to keep it between the white lines there. That is not going to be good for Byland. As we now look for who else could possibly be on a lap. Bean is starting his lap. Currently P1. Tied basically with Ule. Who, if he was on a push lap, has invalidated it. Hunganon choosing to remain in the pits. So Ule invalidates his hot lap. Hardiders, currently P5, is about to come to start his lap now. As we see, Pufran's gone up to P6. And let's ride on board with Hardiders for a lap. Can he replicate his Australia levels and carry on his title charge in that AlphaTauri? Clips to curb on the inside there. Very dangerous thing to do. We saw in Tier 1 a monster crash here after the restart under the safety car, wiping out Britain and the silver. Red Bull and Alpine not getting off the best on that restart and ending their race early. But Hardizers keeping it nice and steady through Sector 1. It has improved, but not currently fast as Sector 1. Will he be able to match Hugendorn's Sector 2? And Hardizers is currently 9 thousandths faster than anyone else on the track. Looking to put a big lap in here. And Hardizers is going to drive towards the line. And Hardizers goes 43 thousandths faster. So Hardizers now goes faster. Sterling goes P4. Thank you very much for the follow there. 220 mega. As we're going to have Drahovazal goes P4 in the Alpine. And thank you very much as well for the follow there, Mr. Beast. Well, not actually Mr. Beast. Hey, I'm Beast. Hugendorn on a lap right now. But Hugendorn currently not improving here. He's going to have to find something magical through this final sector. Swan currently the slowest of the people to set a lap. And Hugendorn choosing to pit instead. Swan into the pits. is going to be Bean on an outlap. We're going to see Fantenberg now rounding the final corner into the pits. I think they might possibly be on a lap. Rounds is about to start his lap. So Alex Day currently in P13. Somehow doesn't invalidate before he starts. Ule also on a lap, currently P3. Skalski, you may have cursed Ule as he's binned it through the S section. Had a purple one as well, so was going to be the fastest. But has spun through the S section. Maybe a little bit too much curb. Byland goes P15. A little bit off the pace though, as Puffran from out of nowhere goes P1. 20 thousandths faster than Hardizers. Kizul now currently P11, starting his lap. As he throws it into turn 3 now. This 180 degree near enough. Left-hander. And then he's onto the curb on the exit of turn 4. Coming up to now turn 5. This can make or break your lap. Just too much curb on the exit can spin you around like a record, baby. But, oh, Kizul gets a snap mid-corner. As he navigates the chicane section. It has improved, but still not going to be fast enough to be purple in Sector 1. Kizul now rounding through the final part of Sector 2. It's 1/10 off the fastest lap. Meanwhile, Soybean has set the fastest lap. I think that is Khan. No, it's not Khan. Who's the other Aston? It is Khan, right? Huh? Am I going insane? Oh, Khan went P2. I thought it was Khan. Kizul goes P5 with that lap. He set his lap as I pressed the number, so I was looking at Hugendorn and it threw me off. So right now, Bean with a 10th gap to the next car, which is Calm. Puffran P3 beating Hardizers by a minuscule amount of time. 200th, sorry. Kizul in P5 ahead of his teammate now, Ule, who has, since his first lap, hasn't been able to string a lap together. So we see Monk out on the track now. We're looking to improve. It's going to be the first of the cars to come out for this final part of qualifying. We've got 3 minutes left. It is going to be sunny for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes as well. No chance of rain. And we do have a lobby restart after this. So Monk is going to be the first driver on lap. Let's ride on board with Monk for this lap. He has lied to us all and come into the pits. So the first person on lap then, I think, is going to be Jerling. Kevin Jerling will be looking to improve. That's a very old sub duck. That is a very old sub duck. Like, it's going a bit mental. So Jerling is going to go on lap. The hydrates are coming in now. Great banter. Can Jerling improve? Currently slower than his teammate. And he's 2/10 off of pole already, just through Sector 1. So he's got some time to find through the rest of this track. He's very early out on the track as well. Does go purple too though, but he's still behind on Bean's time. So Jerling's got to find some time in this final sector to even think about surpassing Bean here. And Jerling instead's going to pit, so Jerling not improving. So next out on lap is going to be Will Swan starting us off. As we see a gaggle of cars all wanting to get started, coming through the final few corners. Swan with clear track ahead of him. And I think that is the Alpine of Drahovazul behind. Drahovazul currently P7. That is a very old sub. But here we have Swan now. Coming into Sector 2. Has improved on his time through Sector 1. Monk cut the track and couldn't get around in time. Hugendorn goes P4. So Hugendorn does improve. Next up will be Swan. And there's a Ferrari spun. Is that going to be Ule? It is. Ule has spun once again. So Ule will not be improving. But Swan rounds the final corner. And Swan improves to P15. Goes ahead of Berlin. Meanwhile, Drahovazul goes P1 on his grand return to Amethyst Racing. Oh. So Drahovazul throws down the gauntlet. Next up is going to be Byland, who's invalidated. Now it's going to be much improved to P10. Only for Fantenberg to go up to P10. Now it's going to be the AlphaTauri of Hardizers. Can only imagine P3. But Day goes P11. Next up, Rosu manages P10. Now it's going to be the Ferrari of Kiziel goes fastest. Kiziel P1. Bean unable to beat it. P2 for Bean. There is a lobby restart. So Kiziel will be pole position. The pole on pole. P2 for Puffran. Puffran summoned that deep from within. P3 for Bean. P4 for Drahovazul. The top four all within a tenth. But it will see who can be the consistent one. And keep it tidy for all 35 laps around this track. Let me turn my mic down a little bit. That may have been a bit loud. So we're going to get ready for the lobby restart.
Okay, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. You just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Yeah, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. You just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Yeah, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. You just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Yeah, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. You just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Okay, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. Yeah, you just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Yeah, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. Yeah, you just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Okay, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. Yeah, you just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Yeah, I just wanna party all night. Wanna party all night. Yeah, you just wanna party, that's right. Wanna party, that's right. Yeah.
Welcome back to Amethyst Racing as we get ready for the race. It looks very sunny here around Hungary, but we know that the weather conditions can change in an instance. Is it going to stay sunny the whole way? Or is it going to downpour once again? The drivers deciding their strategy and setup for this race. With Alfred Monk on the track, you can always expect someone to absolutely bin it. As we get ready to get racing, Kizyul starts P1. Puffran P2, Kizyul on the softs, Puffran on the hards, Bean and Drahovazal on the mediums. It's a mix of strategies here. Kizyul looking for a very alternate strategy. Doesn't get a good start though. Puffran on the hards gets a better start. He's going to have the inside for turn 1. Kizyul though with the softs will carry so much more speed. And they seem to be cleanly through the front at least. As there's a slow moving Swan who had an amazing start dropping back through the field. Bean up the inside of Puffran though for P2. And it'll be Bean ahead of Puffran. So Kizyul leads Bean, leads Puffran, leads Drahovazal. And further back, oh, who else but Alfred Monk to spin? Monk goes around. As meanwhile there's battling going all the way through the field. Hugendorn, who started 7th, remains 7th as they go side by side through the chicane. Much has gone around as well. And that would have been Ule and Fantenberg going side by side. As we see Taubon and Swan. Oh, who was that? Oh, that's Alex Day. Oh, Alex Day spins around, almost collects Swan and Taubon. How did they both avoid that? Oh, my days. Oh, both survive Alex Day's moment. So currently it'll be Kizyul on the softs leading. With Soybean P2, Puffran P3, P4 for Drahovazal, P5 for Hard Eyes. As Drahovazal, we wanted to get past Puffran as soon as possible. Oh my days. That was almost a disaster. And Much is into the pits there. So Much clearly, seemingly having wing damage. And is going to be coming off of the hards already. Yes, missing his whole front wing. But Kizyul still leads. And there's a spin. And Day is out. Day has crashed. He's binned it on the exit. And we have a virtual safety car currently. So neutralising the grid here. Day lasting 2 laps. And just drops it on the exit of turn 3. So right now, it's going to be Kizyul is your race leader. Being just about within DRS, give or take. And then Puffran on the hard tyres has got quite the train behind him. And the virtual safety car's still out. As they clean up that dead car of Alex Day. And we're racing, and DRS has also been enabled. Kizyul hoping to maybe get a better start than Bean here. It's going to be very tight margins whether they're going to have DRS. Drahovazal will have the DRS on Puffran. And further back, Hugendorn has Ule all over his rear. With Fantenberg and Jerling rounding out the top 10. Khan and Hard Eyes has dropped this off. As meanwhile there's a spin. It's Soybean. Bean's got around. Where is Bean? Bean's P7 now. So Hugendorn getting ahead of him, but Bean has dropped off the back of Kizyul. Kizyul on the soft tyres. We're definitely hoping for a safety car sooner than later though. This track not very kind on tyres, as we're going to ride on board with Jehovah's all over the back of that Mercedes on his return to Amethyst. We'll be getting DRS and medium tyre grip to help him around through this final corner. And now we have the DRS as Kizil set the fastest lap of the race. But Pufran goes faster on them hards. Jehovah's all doesn't look close enough coming into turn 1 to make a move. Talbon towards the back of the grid sets the fastest lap meanwhile. And Jehovah's all not close enough to make a move. Yes, very true. But he's not going to do him any favours as Bean has got back past Hugendorn with DRS assistance. Hugendorn will be hoping to hold on to the rear as Bean is now trying to catch up to the back of Khan and salvage his race. Spinning on them medium tyres is not going to do him any favours at all. Much starting his lap now. Kizil with a solid gap to P2 as things stand. Keep your eyes on Bean because he is gaining on Khan. Bean is absolutely flying this lap. And Jehovah's all is closer to Pufran than before. He'll be after a good final corner though. As now with the DRS, Jehovah's all closer to Pufran than normal. Looks for the inside. And Jehovah's all seems to be past Pufran on the medium tyres. Binds his time and gets the move done up the inside. And Bean has dropped off Hugendorn. Wrote the 7th through to 13th all in a train here. As Jehovah's will be now looking to drop Pufran off and maybe make inroads onto Kizil on them soft tyres. I don't know how long he's going to last on them. Hardizers has been unable to shake Khan off, and Bean is very close to the rear here of Khan. He has been making inroads. That is not the look I want. But Khan, Pufran's had a moment there. Hardizers has definitely caught up to the back there of Pufran. As let's ride on board here with Bean. He's going to be coming up to the DRS zone. Khan, will he have DRS as well? Is Bean going to push here? It's definitely a big push here from Bean. As he looks to maybe go side by side with Khan. And Bean is past through Khan, and that's Bean up into P5. So Bean making a recovery drive now. Span in P2. And Bean now hunting the rear of Hardizers, who drove him so hard in Australia. Got to be very careful on that curb though, as someone's had a moment. It looks like maybe Byland's had a moment. He's now got Talbon all over his rear and has dropped off the back of Mans Vandenberg. Oh! And Jerling's round! Jerling has spun round. And that is Kevin Jerling dropping down the order. Down all the way into P15. Out the exit of turn 6, Jerling unable to control the car. As Talbon is all over the rear of Byland here, hunting him down. I think he just about was, because Bean had a stinker in last week's race. But Talbon gets a monster drive out on Byland side by side as they come down the pit straight. And he's made the move before turn 1. Does Byland think about a move back? No. Byland on the hards. Talbon on the mediums. And let's quickly do a tyre check here. Kizil's tyres are really starting to feel it. 35 on them rears. Jehovah's all 22 on the rears. Pufran 16. So you see how the different tyre compounds are wearing. And Bean has got past Hardizers. Bean really putting them medium tyres to work as he's been carving his way back through the field. As we go through the list of drivers, it appears everyone has behaved and got their telemetry on. But Kizil is no longer pulling away from the medium tyre of Drahovizl. And Drahovizl is starting to still slowly gap Puffran. There or thereabouts, but Bean is the man to watch because he is on a charge. Is the soft tyre gamble going to pay off for Kizil though? It is the question. As we see a train of cars. But Talbon has been working his way up through the field. And this train seems to stem all the way from Bean to maybe Rosu. Rosu, who's down in P12, not having the race to remember. But yes, that gap between P1 and P2 is coming down. Drahovizl gaining on Kizil. Kizil, who's gone for a very interesting strategy of starting soft. And Bean now, I wonder how his medium tyres are feeling. As he enters the 25% range, he should still be on the fastest tyre. But he'd have been wanting to hold on to the rear of Kizil and not have that spin. Right now, you'd have to say Drahovizl is in prime position to win, if not Puffran, depending on how the tyres play out. The weather report, we're looking at possibly overcast conditions towards the end of the race, but no rain in sight. As we start the 9th lap now here at the Hungaroring. Only Much having a race to forget currently for sure, being very far off the rest of the pack. Everyone else is one error away from gaining or losing a handful of positions. But Andrew now is gaining on the soft runner of Kizil. Drahovizl making big gains on Kizil here. Has dropped Puffran off. Puffran is slowly being wheeled in by Bean, who is dragging the whole train along with him. Hugendorn almost in touching distance of Khan now. As Monk, as per normal, is the first person to pick up the 3-second time penalty. Alfred Monk having a skill diff. And Drahovizl is gaining every lap on them soft tyres of Kizil. Kizil's tyres must really be feeling it. As he's entering the 50% window. Is Drahovizl going to be in DRS range? It's going to be very close. Drahovizl pushing hard on his battery. Kizil's rear light is blinking. That'll be driving Drahovizl on more and more. Not within DRS just yet, but he is gaining every lap now on them softs. Them softs definitely have hit the wall. And Kizil is choosing to still stay out. Is now starting to lose time on the drivers around him. As we come through turn 6, Drahovizl notably closer now. All he has to do is keep it clean and he'll be past Kizil this lap, I can foresee. Kizil on them softs really struggling now. Kizil definitely would have been begging for a safety car. But so far, everyone has managed to avoid the wall other than Day, but only bringing out a virtual. As we now enter the penultimate corner, we're going to ride back on board with Drahovizl, who is right into the rear of Kizil. He's front nose to rear diffuser. Definitely within DRS. Kizil tries to break the slipstream. Drahovizl with the drive pulls out to the outside. He's going to be side by side into turn 1. And then still side by side, but Kizil gets a snap and Drahovizl takes the lead of the race. Drahovizl is now P1. Started 4th, up into P1. Kiz will be wanting to hold on, but them tyres seemingly are struggling. Byland has dropped off the back of this train as well, led by Bean. It is quite the train forming behind. Puffran still managing to keep a solid enough gap to this train on them hard tyres. As we see Bean maybe starting to feel it. Has been gaining though on Puffran. And is Kizzle going to be able to keep within that DRS range of Jehovah's? Or Tizzle's tyres definitely feeling it now. Is he going to pit this lap? One could imagine. No, he stays out. Did he get the DRS is the question. His softs are almost at 60. His softs are at 60%. And he didn't get the DRS either. So them softs are losing him a handful of time. Hand over fist amounts. He's only got maybe 1 or 2 more laps left in him. He's really pushing them softs to the limit. As Taubon and Vandenberg. Taubon gains another place. Really showing that he has the pace on the medium tyres as well here. As Bean starting to extend away from Hardizers slightly. And Ule seems to have had a moment there. Ule has lost another position. Maybe a snap out of turn 4 for Ule. As he drops down to P9. Taubon up to P8. Kiz will be desperately hoping for a safety car. Because it's now Puffran who's gaining on him. Jehovah's is clear currently at the front. Bean as well though, gaining on Puffran. And we look to see now, will Kizzle decide to pit? No, Kizzle stays out, and no, Kizzle now dives late into the pits. So Kizzle first to pit. Them soft tyres, really feeling it. Was at 66% rears. He only had another lap in him before he entered puncture territory, and he's going onto the hard tyre here. So he may be looking to get the overcut on the medium runners who started. But he's going to be hoping not to come out into traffic. And talking of traffic, it might be Swan and Monk who he's going to come out behind. It is indeed. And they are on the hard tyre. And they've got some life left in them tyres still, only at 30%. If a safety car was to come out now, I don't know what will happen. As Rosu is all over the rear of... Taubon picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ule, does Ule have damage? Because Ule is very slow right now. He's dropped off the back of Taubon. And Bean has been making inroads into Puffran's gap every lap. Although rear is flashing for Bean. 11% battery for him. His tyres at 45% at the fronts. He's wearing his fronts more than his rears though. Looks to be well within that DRS range though. Will Bean be able to gain enough on Puffran? He doesn't seem to get the drive out of that final corner though. And Puffran is going to survive another lap as we start lap 14. Jehovah's all up 3 places into P1. Puffran. Oh my god, yes, they are about to get into it. For P12. Monk and Swan expect no quarter to be given. Monk, who has been gaining on Swan. Swan has definitely not been taken to this track like a duck to water. As 16 of the 17 drivers still out on track. But Vandenberg is all over the rear of Ule for P8 currently. Kizzle gaining on this pair, but will he be able to traverse them easily is the question. It will be for position, and Monk will want to hold Kizzle up for his teammate. And I can imagine Swan would want to do the same as well. As meanwhile, Bean gaining on Puffran once again. Within DRS, but again, Puffran's exit down the final corner. It's just elite. He gains on him through the first two sectors, but sector 3, Puffran seems to have nailed down, keeping that gap a solid, steady pace. As back to Rosu is still on the rear of Byland, unable to get past him, has been stuck behind that Haas for a number of laps now. But that gap, Jehovah's all managing 3 seconds. Oh. And Vandenberg will wanting to get past Ule. Will he be putting the pressure on Simon Ule here? Vandenberg. If Ule will not have the DRS here. And let's ride on board with Vandenberg. Battery solid. You would have to say over 50% battery for Mans. But he just isn't attacking, seemingly holding steady and stationed as Rosu into the... No, Bean into the pits. Bean has pit from P3. So Bean may be looking to undercut the rest of the field around him. Kizil will come out ahead. By how much, though? It doesn't look like much. Bean... With Bean ahead of Jerling. Jerling yet to pit. Jerling has not had the race he would want to remember. But Kizil is now between a Williams sandwich. Although Bean will have the cold hards. Will Bean be able to keep control on this lap? He's already spun once. And Monk picks up another 3-second time penalty. As Jehovah's gap to Puffran seems to be extending. Bean outside of that 1 second window on Kizil. Will Monk play the team and TP role here and hold up Kizil for Bean? He will have DRS to help defend, but Swan is pushing hard. Monk may have been dropped out of that DRS window. As we now see Jehovah's all into the pits along with Puffran. And Puffran we're going on to mediums, Jehovah's all onto the hards. Monk does get DRS, but Kizil is all over his rear. Monk, light will be flashing. He's going to pin Kizil in. Kizil, oh my god! Almost into the rear of Puffran they go. And Kizil's round! Kizil's gone round! Where is Kizil? Kizil's P14. Doesn't appear to be any damage, but 3 wide. Through that corner. As Swamp now picks up a 3-second time penalty as ahead of him is Jehovah's All. Jehovah's All has got ahead of... has got a bigger gap and has got cars between him and Bean. But Bean will be hoping Swan moves out of the way sooner than later so he can maybe start to mount an offensive Jehovah's All with the fresher tyre. So now, Hardizers is your race leader, but Khan is really putting the pressure on. He dives towards the inside. He will have the inside for turn 1. Hardizers will get a better exit though. But Khan with the DRS, they're going to be side by side into turn 2. Hardizers with the inside. Oh, they both run it wide. And now it's going to allow Hugendorn an offensive on Khan. As Rosu sets the faster lap, we've got a spin and it's Byland. Byland is around. Byland's had a moment and he's dropping down the order. He's yet to pit as well. As we see Bean and Swan battling for P6 and P7. The battle for the lead now really heating up, as it was hard to gauge what happened there. But it's a three-way battle now for provisional P1. Bean has got past Swan and is now going to be hunting down Drahovazal. But we're going to go back to the battle for the lead as Khan, running low battery, up into P2, started P6. Does get a helping of DRS, but isn't close enough to make an attack. Ule currently P4, Drahovazal P5, P6 for Bean. And Vandenberg is all over the rear now. Kiziel, after having that contact in that 3 wide into turn 1, is now between a slow Byland on old hards and a fresh mediums of Vandenberg. Rosu is flying on them mediums. Kiziel goes side by side with Byland. Vandenberg looking to follow through. They're still side by side. Byland not giving it up. And Vandenberg looking for the switchback. We'll get a better drive out here. Down the straight. And we'll be ahead of Byland. Byland losing 2 places in 1.5 corners. Monk currently P9 with 6 seconds of penalties though. Is really struggling. And so is Jerling. So we see Khan stays out. Hardeyes and Hugendorn both into the pits though. So Khan will now be your race leader. Ule now up into P2. Where will they come out regarding Drahovazal and Bean? In fact, they're going to come out behind Talbon. Talbon, whose pit is going to come out alongside Hardeyes. That was very close from the pair. Hardeyes is ahead of his teammate though. And Hugendorn behind. Very interesting strategies going on at the moment. But it's going to be Khan leading with Ule P2. Drahovazal has kept that gap to Bean at roughly a second. And then it's Puffran in P5. P6 for Swan, who is yet to pit. P7 for Monk, who is also yet to pit. And then Byland in P13 also yet to pit. I'm imagining the guys who have yet to pit are off, just begging for a safety car to come out as Khan now into the pits. I'm assuming Khan going for the mediums. Yes, Khan onto mediums. Meanwhile, Puffran sets the fastest lap of the race. Ule still yet to pit. Must be looking to go soft. As we see Monk now pitting. Feeling it is time to pit. Where is Khan going to come out? Is the overcut going to have worked? I don't believe so. He's actually been passed by Hugendorn. So Khan loses out by pitting a lap later. Vandenberg has got past Kiziel as well. Kiziel's hards. Kiziel's gamble of soft to hards not paying off for him. Obviously Ule, who struggled in qualifying, keeping it nice and steady. Currently your race leader, maybe looking to go hard to softs. Currently 50% wear on them tyres. Drahovazal though still leads this race with Bean hunting him down. Puffran in the background as well on the mediums is making inroads on this pair. And then it's going to be Swan who is holding up this train. Swan looking to maybe play the ultimate team role. Hardeyes thinks about a move around the outside. They Constantine up. Swan is doing his best Sergio Perez impersonation here. He's parking it on the apex. And now looks to cover off Hardeyes. Hardeyes with the DRS will be deploying further back. We see Hugendorn looking to go side by side with Talbon. Hardeyes is wheel to wheel with Swan. Hugendorn wheel to wheel with Taubon. Khan may be thinking about a move as well. Hardeyes is through. Jerling meanwhile sets the fastest lap, but is nowhere to be seen on the grid order. Khan may be thinking about a move now on Hugendorn for P9 or P8 even, and I think Khan might have got the move made. Yes, he has. Hugendorn unable to fend off the Aston Martin, and there's contact. Vandenberg thinks about a move up the inside, unable to. Makes a little bit of wheel contact with Hugendorn. And Kizil is gaining back up on this crowd of cars. Oh, and round goes Hugendorn. Hugendorn's around. That is not what the Red Bull would have wanted. I don't know if that was contact or not. But Hugendorn has spun. Ule, still staying out on them hard tyres, is being reeled in by the front three. And Hardeyes can now finally wake up on their mediums as he's got past Will Swan, who is holding up this train once again. And he will now finally pit. Khan has got past Taubon as well meanwhile. And both with DRS to help. Kizil on the rear now of Vandenberg. Woo! So it's going to be Ule still leading. Oh, rear wing damage for Mans. How's that happened? Oh, I don't. Oh. Watching a car with rear wing damage go around the track does scare me. Hugendorn span around. Don't know what was the causation. Notably though, Puffran. Oh, Jehovah's all spun! Jehovah's all spins on the exit, the final corner! And he's going to be losing 2, maybe 3 places. Jehovah's all drops down to P5. It was looking like almost certainly a first place on his first race back. But now he's going to be battling Hardeyes, and Khan will be making inroads. I don't know what I said. So Puffran now is gaining on Bean quite rapidly as well. Their medium tyres definitely have sprung to life. What is his wear though? 24% on their mediums. Compared to Bean's 21. So they're about equal wear as well. Ule's tyres. And almost at 60%. Jehovah's will maybe looking to fight for that final podium position. But he's going to have to defend off Khan and gain on Hardeyes, as Hardeyes is on the fresher medium as well. Ule must be going soft. But we're going to go back to this battle for what is net P1 once Ule pits. Bean low on battery. Puffran low on battery. Isn't close enough though to make a move this lap. As we see Jehovah's All is being reeled in by Khan. Jehovah's All, that one spin might cost him. Well, he's almost certainly going to cost him a P1 here today. He will still be scrapping it out for the points though. They're having a much better return to Amethyst than Alex Day, who crashed out lap 2. Currently we're hearing Ule will come out of the pits in P9. But almost certainly going to be on soft tyres. Until the end now. Still no safety car though. So, Ule doing the Ferrari strat, that is correct. Surely this must now be the pit window for Simon Ule. Stays out another lap though. You can see Puffran gaining on Bean again and again. Will Puthran be able to make the move? I don't think he's close enough just yet. We're 10 laps to go now. Everything is... I think I know who that is. So Jehovah's is being pressured by... Ooh. Hugendorn's got past Vandenberg. That rear wing damage is definitely having a major effect on him. But Khan is gaining on Jehovah's. Them hard tyres are going to be susceptible to attacks from the medium tyre behind. And the front two are really gaining on Ule here. Ule's hards must be really feeling it now. Is Ule going to gift Bean a lap of DRS to help defend off Puthran? The margins are going to be close. Vandenberg currently holding out to just scrape by with a point, but has got to defend off Rosu. Ule still not pitting. Bean and Puthran rapidly gaining. And Bean doesn't get DRS. Puthran definitely closer. Bean looks to break the tyres. We're going to go to the battle for P6. And it is going to be Khan gaining on him down the straight with the DRS. Isn't close enough to make a move this lap though. But he's right on his rear diffuser. And we'll get a second help on the DRS here. Is he going to maybe think about a move into turn 3? No, but he's really putting the pressure on the Alpine driver. As they come through turn 4. Khan getting a little bit wobbly on exit though. As Ule still staying out. Is being gained on rapidly by the cars behind him. Notably as well, Byland and Jerling battling for P12. What is Ule's tyre wear at? 67 front left, so almost certainly it's pit time for Ule. Is on the Ferrari strategists of soft hard and hard soft are interesting. And Ule now finally pits. Will be giving DRS though to Bean to defend off Puthran for a lap. As Kizil is now under pressure from Hugendorn. Hugendorn has made inroads on that gap on Kizil. Kizil's old hards definitely starting to feel it. And Kizil tries to break the toe. He's flashing as well. There's a yellow flag for a second there. But unable to do anything. And we see Khan now all over the rear of Jehovah's. Jehovah's rear light flashing. Khan at about 20%. Also putting the pressure. Jehovah's run wide and picks up a 3-second time penalty. So now Khan doesn't even need to pass him on the track. In fact, it is going to be Kizil who's going to be wanting to gain on the guys ahead of him now. Talbot also with a 3-second time penalty. Ule has gone on to medium tyres. That's an interesting strategy decision from Ule. We saw Kizil do 12 laps on the soft tyre. But Ule did come out ahead of Vandenberg, which means he's also ahead of Rosu. McLaren. Oh, Hugendorn has made a move on Kizil around the outside for P7. Kizil will, though, get the DRS on Hugendorn. But that was a bold move around the outside of the penultimate corner. Kizil will fight back, though. My guess is Jehovah's. As Rosu unable to fight off get past Vandenberg. And Rosu just having to stick behind Jehovah's with a 3-second time penalty. We were hoping Khan suffers a similar fate so they have to battle it out on the road. But back to the battle for the lead, because it is being chased by Puffran. Puffran's tyres, though, are almost 45%. Bean's tyres surely faring much better. Only 35. I think Bean now has the tyre advantage on the medium runner of Puffran. Hardizer's up in P3, and there is a yellow flag, and it is going to be Kiziel. Kiziel's at the moment got end plate damage. So Kiziel drops outside of the points now. And Patrick Kiziel with front end plate damage. As there, Byland also into the pits. Yes, Byland following into the pits. Possibly damage for Byland. Monk up into P11. Swan P12. Chasing down Monk. Jerling P13. And meanwhile, Vandenberg and Rosu are still battling it out. Now it's for P9 and P10. And Khan has got past Jehovah's on track. Khan makes the move on Jehovah's. But the battle for the lead now seems to have stabilised, as Bean seems to have the better tyre than Puffran. It is very close margins though for the pair. As Bean looks for a good drive out the final corner. Does Puffran have the DRS? Yes, he does. 5 laps to go. Kiziel's race has gone from a shining star to a heap of cowpat. And still, Vandenberg fends off Rosu. Rosu, your Season 5 champion, unable to get past Mans Vandenberg here. And Rosu is flashing in the rear, and you see in the background, Monk, Jerling and Swan battling it out. Jerling has got past Swan. And they are gaining on this duo ahead. If Monk does a Monk, it is limbs. Absolute limbs. You see someone sparking. Vandenberg picks up a 3-second time penalty. Defending off Rosu. So things have just got more interesting, because watch that gap between Rosu and Monk. Well, Jerling, because Monk's got 6 seconds. Currently, it is going to be Vandenberg and Jerling technically battling it out. And there's a yellow flag. It's Kiziel. Kiziel slow. Out of turn 3, through turn 4. Kiziel seems to have an issue. But no free safety car once again. Vandenberg still holding off Rosu. And Ule and Hugendorn are battling side by side through turn 1. Ule with the much fresher medium tyres to Hugendorn will look up for a move up the inside. And Ule is through on Hugendorn. Meanwhile, Monk under pressure from Mercedes of Jerling. Not for points though, as Vandenberg still holding off Rosu. What are Vandenberg's tyres looking like? 50% on the front with 3 laps to go. Near enough. For the race leaders, as Kiziel is now behind Much. Much, who's been literally driving on his own for the majority of this race, is now battling alongside with Kiziel. Kiziel with the fresh softs though to Much's older hards. There's a little bit of wheel to wheel. As meanwhile, the battle for the lead is still going to be Bean and Puffran. 3 laps to go for the pair. As Hardizers is now a very solitary position on his own. Vandenberg still defends off Rosu. But look at this train behind, catching and gaining. That 3-second time penalty might be about to really affect Vandenberg more than you can imagine. As Monk, Jerling and Swan have been gaining on this duo. Hugendorn not giving up on Ule. Ule getting a little bit twitchy through turn 3. Looks to have stabilised the car just in time for turn 4 though. But back to the battle for the lead as Puffran seems a little bit closer than the last few laps. The real question is, what is Monk cooking? As Kizil sets the fastest lap of the race now. On fresh softs. And Much coming into the pits will go a lap down now. As the race leaders start the penultimate lap. And it's still been leading Puffran. Puffran may only have one more lap to do this. As Hungarian unable to gain on Ule. Byron picks up a 3-second time penalty all the way down in P14. But the train is now 5. The 2 trains merge into 1. Are we about to see fireworks here for the final few points? As here we go. Vandenberg holding up Rosu. Monk. Oh, and there's Much is going slow. I think it was to let through the cars. Very true. As Swan's got past Jerling up the inside there in the background of turn 3. Jerling running deep. Swan capitalising and takes the position from Jerling. As meanwhile, the battle for the lead. Is Puffran gonna be close enough? Bean seemingly has just enough of a gap. The last helping of DRS for Puffran. Is he going to be close enough? Kizil in the pits. Bylanders going slow. But I don't think Puffran is going to be able to make the move on Bean here. Meanwhile though, Mans Vandenberg. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. We might about to see a bit of a battle strike up here. Swan on Monk. Swan thinks about a move on Monk. Monk defends it off. Swan dives for the inside on Monk. Monk parks the car perfectly. As Ule... Oh, and there's yellow flags. For something. What's happened? Why have we got yellows? Oh, it's Jerling. Jerling's had a big snap and he's well off the pace. Oh! Oh, it's Kizil. I thought that might have been Ule. Yeah, Jerling in low fuel mode. But Soy Bean is going to be your race winner here in Hungary. Bean wins. Puffran P2. Hardizers takes the final step on the podium. Calm P4. Drahovizal P5. 6th for Talbon. Is Ule going to be with that 3-second time penalty or Talbon? No. Ule 7th. Huggendorn P8. P9 is going to be a battle between... Well, it's not going to be a battle because Vandenberg has a penalty. P9 goes to Rosu. Vandenberg brings it home in the final points paying position. Jerling is in low fuel mode. He's limping his way across the line. Ran out of fuel. Must have been expecting a safety car here. Hasn't paid off. And Jerling limps across the line. Your race winner though, Soybean, brings it home in first. Puffran P2. But there we have it. Soybean coming out to take the top step. I hate that they all do the griddy. P2 for Puffran, and P3 for Hardizers. No, he didn't. As they spray the champagne. And there are your race standings. Soybean P1, P2 for Puffran, P3 for Hardizers. And only one car failing to finish the race in Alex Day. As we're going to get ready to do the interviews. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, there's a man in here. The race winner, Bean, P1. Talk us through. So far, Williams have won both races on this track.
Have they? I didn't even know that.
Oh, understandable.
Oh, right. This weekend, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But talk us through your race. That was to begin with, it was looking very rosy. You was keeping up with Kizzy on the softs, and then you beamed it.
I did indeed do that. It was a very weird mistake. Another artifact of the F122 game, and the killer curves around Hungary. So yeah, but I managed to floor it, spin it back round in one go, and keep going. So I didn't lose too much time. And then I was fully sending it on the mediums. Like, I did not hold back at all. So
we saw you was making inroads onto everyone.
Yeah, and then eventually the tyres ran out, so I was just keeping up kind of with the hard guys. And then I've got a bit lucky with whatever happened on the pit exit with Spikey and Kizio. I almost got my wheel taken off, but thankfully I didn't. So yeah, that wouldn't have been good. But yeah, just got lucky there pretty much because Spike was still catching me afterwards as well. And if that didn't happen, I'm sure he would have won. So yeah, but
And gifted by the Alpine also having a soybean.
no, yeah, that's true as well. So I was trying to catch him, but he was very quick on the hard tires. So I I think it would have been close, but yeah, I got lucky there. So not too bad, I'd say. And thankfully, everyone near me in the championship kind of didn't have a good race. So I mean, yeah, not too bad, I would say.
And next week, sprint race weekend in Austria. How do you feel for that one?
Oh, it's a well-known fact. I hate Austria, so I don't like how everyone just gets dragged along by the leader. But I think last time we were in Austria, I did pretty well until I bottled it. But you know, yeah, that's just expected at this point. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But just hoping to keep it on the road, I guess. That's all I can hope for nowadays.
And anything else you'd like to say before we go down to P2?
My back's a bit sore from carrying this Williams team, but
Yes,
I would like.
the Monk 0 point scoring continues.
It does continue.
A post has already been put out regarding it.
I know. Pot said he was cooking that up while engineering me as well. That's great.
He's cooked, and he's cooked heavily.
Yeah, I did want to ask though what the situation is on the length of this season.
We are discussing it. We may be dropping a track. We're unsure.
Ah, okay.
But we will most probably be dropping one track.
Please don't drop Singapore. Thank you.
It's either Singapore or Kota.
Yeah, but we didn't race at Singapore last season, so.
But we did.
That's
season
my
before.
point. Yeah, but we did race at Kota last season. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, it will be tallied up on Thursday. There's a poll out.
Alright, cool. So, I'll see you next week then, I guess.
Yes, see you next week. Let's get Puff ran up. Puff ran P2
Hello.
almost made the strategy work.
No, I underfueled, so that's basically me out of the race. For my entire medium stint, I was lifting coasting into turn one, so my priority was getting into Bean's DRS so that I had some chance. But even then, it was just I just couldn't do anything. And also, even though I was running lower wings, Bean was still somehow keeping ahead of me on the straights, which is annoying to say the least. And then, well, after my pit stop, there was a little incident with Kizio, which I would like to apologize right now again. I kind of maybe perhaps sort of, I think, took him out, but allegations kind of. But yeah, so that was on me. Other than that, pretty much clean sort of weekend for me because there was no one around me. And yeah, I bottled with the fuel. Otherwise, I maybe could have won.
I have a feeling someone was expecting a safety car.
Not me. I wanted to go 0.3 on fuel. I for some reason went minus 0.3.
Nice.
I don't know why. I don't know how, but I did. So yeah.
Well,
That's
anyway,
it. Yeah.
Austria's next week. How do you feel for Austria?
I'd rather not race because it's cancer on controller and Bean and all those guys are going to be way too quick for me to catch. But I'll try my best. I don't have points or anything, so I'm probably going to be a sweat this week. We'll see.
We shall see. And well, anything else
pretty
you
much
would
it for
like
me.
to say before we go get, I guess, the AlphaTauri Vice Team Principal up to represent Hardizers?
Yeah, nothing really. Tabom said that he'd somehow find a way to finish ahead of me this race. Hold. That's it.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations on P2. Solid points for yourself today.
Thank you.
Talbon, you're up here representing yourself and Hardizers.
Yeah.
You started from 16th after Monk's grid penalty was applied.
Yeah. Oh.
So you didn't have to
I'm
worry about
so
starting behind Monk still. He was that washed in qualifying that he...
It's scarier to have him behind me, to be honest.
Oh, fair enough. But no one played bowling into turn 1 as well, notably. So, that is
Yeah. There you go.
That is an added bonus.
It really was like, I took it really slow the first couple of corners because I didn't want to be in any incident, have any damage. Started on the mediums to be able to push away. I know Cohen, I think, started P4, P5, and he just drove magically. He then didn't do any big mistakes, so really happy for him. He got his pole. Is it maybe first or second pole? I don't really remember. He dropped beautifully, and for me, it was making a position from the start. It was easy for me on the mediums to gain, and I made some just nice and clean overtakes on the main straight. And then it was just tie strategy. And I got a 3-second penalty, so I was quite scared of going to lose many positions, but I just had a great pace on the hards and I could avoid letting Yule or Hugendorn overtake me.
And
really fun race.
You held off the attackers and managed to secure yourself, I think, a P6.
Yeah.
And
position.
Hardizers getting a podium position as well. P3 for Hardizers.
Yeah, great points for a team. It will help us cross races here.
Austria coming up next. How are you and Hardizers feeling for that one?
I don't know. I don't have a good record at Austria. Did my first race at Austria in this league. Crashed. I don't really know how Hardizers is feeling, but with his pace, I feel he will surely be after fighting for a win, hopefully.
Oh.
He's a fast guy, so.
Anything else you'd like to add before we... I think I'm going to end it here because I am shattered.
Swan, next time calling a terrorist, maybe look in the mirror. That's all I want to say.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
And on that note, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you very much for joining us today. Tune in on Wednesday as the Tier 3 drivers take on Hungary. How many DNFs will we have is the question on everyone's mind. Anyway, that's been me, Martin. Thank you and goodbye.
So I say I'm down, just a chance to